going to give it a moment for people to pop on. And as you begin to arrive, find yourself an easy, comfortable sitting position. Hello, someone just popped on. Hi. And feel free to be as interactive as possible, as much as you want. You can leave comments if you have any questions throughout this time. I'll keep my eye on the comment box. So if you have anything to say or anything, just throw it in the comment box. Otherwise, just begin to find yourself an easy, comfortable sitting position. Get yourself in an environment that you can find some quiet, without distraction. And try to sit in a position where your spine is upright. Though if you need to throughout the practice, lay down. Do whatever you need to do to be comfortable through this. And if the shoulders are snuggling up to the ears, see if you can let them drop down, relax. Hi, someone else came on. Hi. Letting the shoulders relax all the way down. Let your spine be long. Finding an easy, comfortable sitting position. And begin to close the eyes if it feels safe to do so, or just keep your attention resting on a object to gaze on, maybe a stone or a spot on the floor or the wall. But just allow your gaze to be soft and begin to bring your attention into the breath. If it helps, you can place a hand over the belly, one over the heart, just to connect with the sensation of the rise and fall, this movement in the breath. At this time, we're going to center ourselves. So I'm going to invite you to bring your attention to the seat beneath you. Feel each point of contact of your body to the seat, including the back, against the legs. Maybe your feet are on the floor or in the crossed position. Wherever you are, just noticing each point of contact. We're grounding our body, grounding ourselves in this present moment. Noticing the rise and fall of your belly or the chest. Tuning into your natural rhythm of breath. There's a tendency to judge the breath as judging it as wrong, or maybe I'm not breathing as deep as I'd like to be breathing. So I'm going to invite you to just notice how your breath is now in this moment. And we'll try not to judge it as right or wrong, but just become aware of the experience in itself. This is how it is right now in this moment. It can I be open to it changing, deepening? Notice the sensations of your breath. This might bring you to look at the sensation of it moving through your nose and out through your nose. Noticing how the air is cool coming in and warm flowing out. You might notice the sensation of the breath moving down the throat, on the chest. Notice how the ribs expand. And contract. Noticing not just the front side of our ribs, but we have the sides and the back of our ribs as well. Being very kind to yourself through this process. If your mind wanders to other things, just know that that's okay. You're not doing it wrong, but just notice that you're thinking. And choose to steer your attention back to the breath. And stay with the experience of your breath. Is there any clenching coming up in the body? For the jaw to be, for an example, our jaw, or the throat. Can we relax in our face and our throat? Just explore that idea. Can we relax the shoulders? Allow them to relax in their natural position. Now allow your mind to do whatever it wants to do. And then we're just gonna just shake it out, move your body a little for a moment if you need to. And just notice what that was like for you. Meditating is not the most easiest thing to do. And what I find really helps me is realizing that in a meditation exercise, whether we're using a point of focus, which we were with the breath, we were using the breath as a point of focus where we dart our attention to just that one thing, and the mind will wander. And there's this idea that, okay, my mind is wandering, so I'm not doing it right, But what's really helped me was understanding that it can be less about making your mind absent of thought, but more about the awareness that we have behind the thought. So I invite you to not take yourself too seriously or beat yourself up, or to be very kind to yourself through the process. And I like to think of it more as just exploring these ideas, see how far I can go with this idea of just focusing on the breath, or whatever types of meditation that we will use. So, and I'm going to introduce you to a couple of other things that we could do. So, let's go back to closing the eyes, settling in, and then we're going to go through sensations, which this is a wonderful technique that I use to help ground my body into the present moment. When I'm high in anxiety, when I am in my head, this particular exercise helps me come back down, helps me ground down to my body. So, and gets me out of the headspace and more into the body. So, finding your comfortable sitting position. And I'm going to start with noticing the surroundings and then move into sensation. So, grounding down, begin to connect to the breath. And begin to observe sound, noticing sounds further in distance. Noticing sound closer in distance. And this particular thing is really good to practice, just observing without trying to control or change what's happening externally, because that's life. We're, going through life, there's a lot of distractions, and this is a good practice to help us release the attachment to changing whatever distraction there is or annoyance, and come to a place where we could say that it all has its place. This too has its place, just like I do. So whatever it is, just noticing sound, close in distance, further in distance. And see if you can just let it be as it is. Meet yourself, meet your reactions through kindness, this loving attention, just like you would a child or a small animal. Bring your awareness to smell. Taste. Oftentimes there's taste associated with smell, so just notice if that comes up. Noticing the temperature of the space. Maybe there's a breeze or heat. And just notice what's there. Any felt sensations such as your body's temperature. Clothing on your skin. The weight of your body against the support beneath you or behind you. And just keeping a smooth and steady breath, whatever feels natural to you. Become aware of your mood. This is where we have to be very nice to ourselves. Just to notice what's here. Meeting yourself through loving and kindness. Noticing any mood stories that might arise. And then let it go. Letting go of whatever isn't serving you. And then bring your attention back to a breath. Take a full breath in. You can open your eyes, just notice how you feel after that. Just noticing whatever comes up for you. It might help to move around a little bit, move the arms up and down, switch your position if you haven't already. And this next one that I would like to introduce you to, I've been listening to Tara Brock on Spotify, and she's amazing, a meditation teacher. She uses this acronym called RAIN, and this acronym has been so transformative in my life, and it has helped me break things down as far as my experience and how to approach my experiences, especially when they are not so pleasant. So we're just gonna go for it. So this is called RAIN, and we'll start with, you close your eyes, settle into your position. Hi, Jessica. Settling into your position. And the first letter in RAIN is R. And that's going to stand for recognize. Recognizing what is here. And there's a tendency to add a story to it. Like, oh, this, and this is why this. But I'm going to invite you to just stay with the facts and less about what's personal about it. So just recognizing what is here. So I could use an example. For me, anxiety is very strong in my life. And I use this for anxiety a lot. So I would say to myself, anxious. Anxiety is here. And I'm just going to notice that and be with that. And then we move to A, allow. And we're allowing, not saying that we condone it, but more about releasing our attachment to it being different, or releasing our attachment to, releasing the attachment to it. So we're going to allow it, give it the space to be there, so that we can open up this investigation, this curious attention to it, which goes into I, investigate. So if we could bring, just an idea, if we could bring a curious attention to what is here. Let's get a little curious about it. And with that curiosity, we open up the space within ourselves to nurture the moment. Nurturing ourselves in the moment. Nurturing the experience. So I'll use an example. Instead of being angry at myself or anxious, I could bring a gentle attention to it and say, it's okay. It's okay. This is here. You have my attention. I'm going to choose to breathe into this. And then it makes it a little less personal. Because maybe what's coming up within us is trying to say something. Trying to And I could use my example, continue to roll off of that as my example is anxiety. And, this anxiety is the stored energy in the body. And it's coming up because of this in my body reaction, this emotional in my body reaction. And it wants to protect me. And so understanding that this is trying to protect me, I can bring a kind, gentle attention to this and say it's okay. I've got it from here. Thank you for protecting me. but I can take it off from here. I can take it on from here. In this exercise, it feels more like it feels like a reparenting, or just bringing this attention like you to yourself, like you would another individual or a child or an animal. Just comforting. Self-compassion is a huge part of my personal practice, and that's why I choose to share it that way. And it's because how we treat ourselves and how we respond to ourselves is going to reflect on how we are operating in the world. So it's so important to take time to acknowledge yourself and be kind to yourself. Compliment yourself. So I talked a lot through that. So I want to give you an opportunity to go through that without me talking about my example. So let's start over with this. So begin to take a full breath. And recognizing what is here for you in this moment. Just recognizing, what does it feel like? Is there a body sensation, emotion? Heady? And this is an invitation to allow it to be here. It's safe to allow it to be here. Because we're bringing this witness attention to it. It's not personal, we're just observing. And then we investigate. A gentle, curious attention. And then we nurture. Can you bring a kind, soft word to yourself or to the experience? Maybe it's a prayer or a mantra. Or just a kind word. Or a soft touch. That's why I always bring my hand to my heart. My way of nurturing self. you can just let all that go. Take a nice, smooth, even breath. Now I would like to offer some breath exercises that can help guide you deeper into meditation. So we'll begin to, my favorite one to introduce is the 3-part breath, because I feel like it's very easy to remember, and it's very accessible. So, and you can do it anywhere. You can breathe anywhere, anytime. So breathe in for the count of 4. Just breathe in for the count of 4. If it's safe, hold for 2. If it feels safe, I'd rather say. And then exhale for 5. And just to go a little further into what I said, if it feels safe, if it feels like it's constricting you to the point where it can cause unnecessary strain or anxiety to you, then don't do it. Just breathe in for 4, exhale for 5. But if you're comfortable with it, you could add a hold. So I'd inhale for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale for 5. Try that again with me. Inhale 4. Hold for 2. Exhale for 5. Do that again on your own. And the intention behind that breath exercise is to bring us from we have our sympathetic nervous system, and then we have our parasympathetic nervous system. And the sympathetic nervous system is responsible for our fight or flight, our adrenaline. And oftentimes it stays overactivated due to shallow breathing or just, you can get a sense of where I'm going with this. It's like there's no full exhale release. So when we breathe in this way and we extend the exhalation, we are coming to this, we're connecting to our parasympathetic nervous system, and that is this rest and digest. So use that tool to your benefit. Very important to extend that exhalation, especially when you're trying to calm yourself down, relax the body, have trouble sleeping. It can really help. So, does anybody have any questions? You can always comment in the box below if you have any questions. I do have a question for you. What is it that you want and need for a meditation class through this library? So I was thinking that we could continue to do this live Facebook, or are you wanting more of a interactive group class, like a Zoom or a Google Meet or something of that nature? What is it that you're needing? And how can I be of a service to you? Yeah, that's a really huge question. What can I offer you? And that can get conversation and connection going. So yes, please comment or send a direct message to your library. And yeah, thank you so much for your time, and I hope that this was very useful for you and that you can take away something from this exercise. Thank you for your time. May peace be with you all. Namaste.